Welcome to this session on USART module of PIC18F microcontroller. The main objective of this session to learn the working and programming of USART module. The topic to be covered: the first introduction, then control registers, then data transmission, and then data reception of USART module. USART stands for Universal Synchronous Asynchronous Receiver and Transmitter. In case of a synchronous mode, the clock source between the sender and receiver are same, but in asynchronous mode, the clock source is different between the sender and the receiver. Means there is no common clock source between sender and receiver. So to send the data in asynchronous mode, we need to frame the data between the start and the stop bit. So if I want to send data of 8 bit, so I have to make the frame of that data by adding the start bit and the stop bit. But in case of synchronous mode, since the clock source is common, there is no framing there, and sender directly send the data to the receiver. So if we compare the asynchronous and the synchronous mode, then data transfer speed in case of synchronous mode is more. We can understand this with the help of this diagram. This is the example of asynchronous mode, where the receiver of controller A is connected to the transmitter pin of controller B, and the transmitter of controller A is connected to the receiver of controller B, and there is no common clock source between these. Maybe this controller is work on 4 megahertz and this may work on the 16 megahertz. So by making the baud rate common, by using the settings of the USART, we can transfer the data between these two controllers. So this is the example of asynchronous mode. In the synchronous mode, the clock source is common. Means if controller A is sending the clock to the controller B, then this known as a master controller and this known as a slave controller. And the rest of the things are remain same as per the connections in the asynchronous mode. So here this USART have the three mode of working. First one is the asynchronous full duplex mode. Second is synchronous master half duplex, and the last one is synchronous slave half duplex mode. So let us understand the registers associated with the USART module. Each peripheral in PIC controller have three registers associated with it. First one is the control register, second is the data register, and third is the interrupt or the flag registers. So to program any peripheral in the PIC controller, we have to first program the control registers. So in USART module of PIC18F, there are the two control registers. One is the TXSTA and second one is the RXSTA. So let us understand first TXSTA, that is the transmit status and control register. This is the 8-bit register where bit number 7 stands for CSRC, that is a clock source select bit. In asynchronous mode, since there is a no common clock source, this is a don't care. We don't need to program this bit, or we are considering this bit as a dash or 0. In case of a synchronous mode, 1 means master mode and 0 means slave mode. Bit number 6, that is a TX9. This is a 9th bit transmit enable bit. 1 means select the 9-bit transmission and 0 to select the 8-bit transmission. Next bit is bit number 5, that is the TXEN. That is a transmit enable bit. 1 to enable the transmit mode of the USART module and 0 to disable the transmit module of USART. Bit number 4, SYNC, that is a USART mode select bit. Whether this is going to work in the asynchronous mode or the synchronous mode. If this bit is set, then synchronous mode is selected, and if this bit is reset, then the asynchronous mode is selected. Bit number 3 is unimplemented. Bit number 2, that is a BRGH, high baud rate select bit, and this is used only in the asynchronous mode. 1 means high speed and 0 means low speed. We will discuss this bit in detail in the coming slide. Next is a TRMT, that is a transmit shift register status bit. 1 indicates TSR empty and 0 indicates TSR full. This TSR register is the heart of USART module. We also discuss this in detail in the coming slides. And the last bit, that is a bit 0, is a TX9D, that is a ninth bit of the transmit data. It can be address or the data bit or a parity bit. Next register is RCSTA, that is a receive status and control register. This register is also 8 bit, where bit 7 is the SPEN, that is a serial port enable bit. If we set this bit, means serial port enabled, and if we reset this bit, it means serial port disabled. Bit number 6, that is RX9, this is the ninth bit receive enable bit. 1, if we set this, means select the ninth bit reception, and if this bit is 0, means selects the 8 bit reception. Next bit is SREN, that is a single receive enable bit. In asynchronous mode, this is a don't care, and in case of a synchronous mode, that is in master mode, when control is in the master mode, if this bit is set, it enables the single receive, and if this bit is reset, it disables the single receive. In case of a synchronous mode, that is a slave, it is unused. Next is the CREN, that is a continuous receive enable bit. In asynchronous mode, if this bit is set, it enables the continuous receive, and if this bit is 0, it disables the continuous receive. In synchronous mode, if this bit is set, it enables the continuous receive until enable bit CREN is cleared, and if this bit is reset, it disables the continuous receive. Next bit is bit number 3, that is a ADDEN, that is a address detect enable bit. In the asynchronous mode, the ninth bit is the RX9. So if this bit is set, it enables the address detection, enable interrupts and load of the receive buffer when RSR 8 bit is set. And if this is reset, it disables the address detection. That is the ninth received bit. Then next is FERR, framing error bit. If this bit is set, it means there is a framing error, and it can be updated by reading the RCREG register and receive next valid byte. So it indicates whether the received bit is correct or not. And if this bit is reset, it means there is no framing error. Then next is OERR, that is overrun error bit. If this bit is set, then overrun error can be cleared by clearing the CREN, and if this bit is reset, then no overrun error. Actually, these are the status bit. Then bit number 0, RX9D, that is the ninth bit of received data, and it may be the address, data bit or the parity bit. So these are two most important control registers which are related with the USART. Next, let us see how to generate the baud rate. So USART baud rate, that is a BRG, supports both asynchronous and synchronous mode of USART, and it is a dedicated 8-bit baud rate generator. The SPBRG register controls the period of a free running 8-bit timer, which is responsible to generate the baud rate. So in asynchronous mode, bit BRGH also control the baud rate, and in synchronous mode, bit BRGH is ignored. BRGH is the bit from the TXSTA register. So for the calculation purpose, let us understand this. This is synchronous mode. This is a bit from the control register. If this bit is 0, it means the asynchronous mode is selected. And further we have the two options, either we have to make BRGH 0 or we have to make BRGH 1. If BRGH is equal to 0, then to calculate the desired baud rate we have to use this formula, where FOSC is the crystal oscillator, that is the oscillator frequency, which is further divided by 64 with the multiple of x. X is the value to be loaded in the SPBRG register plus 1. Right. And for the high speed, when BRG is equal to 1, then the formula used for the desired baud rate is this one, that is the baud rate is equal to F oscillator divided by 16 with the multiplication of x plus 1, where the x is the value which we have to store in the SPBRG register. In the synchronous mode, when this SYNC is 1, it means the synchronous mode is selected. So the calculation for the baud rate is equal to F oscillator upon 4x plus 1. So SPBRG register is responsible to generate the clock pulses for both modes, whether that is the synchronous mode or the asynchronous mode. But in asynchronous mode, we need to take care of these two options, whether VRGH is equal to 0 or whether VRGH is equal to 1. So next, let's understand the function of a USART asynchronous transmitter. So the heart of the transmitter is the transmit serial shift register, that is a TSR. And the TSR register obtains its data from the read or write transfer buffer register, that is a TXREG. This TXREG register is loaded with the data in the software by the programmer by using the instructions, and the TSR register is not loaded until the stop bit has been transmitted from the previous load. As soon as the stop bit is transmitted, the TSR is loaded with the new data from the TXREG register. And once the TXREG register transfers the data to the TSR register, the TXREG register is empty and flag bit TXIF is set. So let us understand this with the help of a block diagram, how it is working. So to send the data, we have to write the data in the TXREG register. Once we write the data in the TXREG register, immediately that data is copied to TSR register. That is a transmit shift register or transmit serial shift register. So once the data is copied in this TSR, the baud rate, this USART module will frame that data with the start bit and the stop bit and start sending that data bit by bit on the pin number RC6. That is a pin which is associated with the USART as a transmit pin. So let us understand this. With the help of the instruction and the command, we put the data here in the TXREG register. Immediate that data is shifted to the TSR register, which is further framed with the start bit and the stop bit, and that bit is transferred one by one by using this pin buffer and the control register. And this module is controlled with the help of this SPEN, that is the serial port enable bit and the transmit enable bit. And the once the data is completely transferred through this pin, that is a bit by bit, immediately that is a transmit interrupt flag is get set. And if we want to create the interrupt, we have to, or to generate the interrupt by set, when this flag is get set, we have to enable the interrupt by using this bit, that is a TXIE bit. And to generate the baud rate, here we have the SPBRG register, and to transfer this baud rate to this mechanism, here we have this TXEN, that's a transmit enable bit register, and here we have the AND gate. So when this is 1, only then and then the logic from this baud rate is transferred to this circuit, and this is for the 9th bit. The next is steps to follow when setting up a asynchronous transmission. The first step, initialize the SPBRG register for the appropriate baud rate. uh, if a high speed baud rate is desired, set bit BRGH. So to calculate the value of a SPBRG register, we need to use the formula which already discussed in the previous slide. Next, enable the synchronous serial port by clearing the bit SYNC and setting bit SPEN. Then step third, if interrupts are desired, set interrupt enable bit, that is TXIEG. Then if ninth bit transmission is desired, then transmit bit TX9 should be set and can be used as a address of the data bit depending on the application. Then enable the transmission by setting the TXEN, which will also set the bit TXIF. Step number 6, if ninth bit transmission is selected, the ninth bit should be loaded in the bit TX9D bit. Step number 7, load data to the TXREG register and start the transmission. Once after the transmission, when TXIF flag is get set, again load next data in the TXREG register and wait for TXIF flag is get set. Next is the USART asynchronous receiver. So data is received on the RC7 pin, that is the RX pin. These two pins are multiplexed with the port C and drives the data recovery block. So data recovery block is actually a high speed shifter operating at a 16 times the baud rate, and whereas the main receive serial shifter operates at the bit rate or at the F oscillator, and this mode would typically be used in the RS232 system. So in the receive mode, data is received in this pin, which is further sent to the pin buffer and the control register. This is the SPEN, that is a serial port enable bit. When this bit is set, only then and then the data or the status of this pin is transferred to this data recovery bit. And depending on the baud rate, this data recovery circuit is sampling the data and sending that bit to this RSR register. And this RSR register is shifting the data bit by bit. And after receiving the data or checking this error, that is a overrun error and the framing error, it is sending this data, that is a 8 bit, means it deframe the data from the start bit and the stop bit and copy this 8 bits to the RCREG register, and immediately it also receive the 9th bit if that is programmed and store that in the RX9D bit, and 9 bit data is received here. And with this, with the reception of this complete 9 bits, it also sets the RCIF flag, which is the receive interrupt flag. And if we want to trigger the interrupt with this, we have to enable the interrupt by using the by setting this RCIE bit. Next is the steps to follow when setting up a asynchronous reception. The step number 1, initialize the SPBRG register for the appropriate baud rate, and if a high speed baud rate is desired, then set BRGH register. Then enable the asynchronous serial port by clearing the SYNC and setting bit SPEN. Then if interrupts are desired, then set enable bit RCIEG as discussed earlier. And if 9th bit reception is desired, then set bit RX9. Step 5, enable the reception by setting bit CREN. Step number 6, flag bit RCIF will be set when reception is complete and interrupt will be generated if enable bit RCIE was set. So RCIF bit is the indication that 8 bit data is received in the controller in the receive section. The next, read the RCSTA register to get the 9th bit and determine if any error occurred during the reception. The next step, read the 8 bit received data by reading the RCREG register and store this data or save this data in any other register or process this data as per the demand of the application. The ninth step is, if any error occurred, then clear the error by clearing the enable bit CREN and again check this RCIF flag, that whether the other data is received or not. If this flag is get set, then immediately copy this RCREG register in the other location of the RAM. So this is all about the general basics of USART module of PIC 18F458. In the coming sessions, we will discuss how to write the program in embedded C to program this USART. So thanks for watching this video.